Hello, everybody. Welcome to another episode of the Genesis Mindset. And in today's episode, I'm going to cover where I think PulseChain is going to go in the short term within the next month or two and why I think it's going to be there. Then I'm going to do a deep dive into ATROPA. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to distill like 20 hours of research, hopefully into about 15 to 20 minutes for you. So it's not going to be a long stream. I do like the shorter content because I think that provides a lot of value for the time that people put into it. And that's how I just like to do things. And I'm actually going to show you the process that I went through. So I hope actually there's some value in this, some real good value in this. It's really been a fascinating process for me. And one of the reasons why I actually really wanted to get into ATROPA is I've been hearing a lot about it. And I actually wanted to get into it last week. And I wanted to make a video at the end of last week, but I actually just finished a 108-hour fast. So 4.5 days of just drinking water. So I tell you what, fasting is phenomenal. The health benefits are phenomenal. So if you're interested in longevity, I really recommend fasting. It helps regenerate, or actually what it does is it cleans out dead cells. So those dead cells in your body are actually toxicating and killing the good cells. So as you stop eating, your body gets into a regeneration process where it cleans out those dead cells. So it's actually a really, really fascinating process. It eliminates a lot of visceral fat. So I lost a little bit of weight as well. And of course, some muscle mass, but that's no problem. And probably one of the more important things for me is the phenomenal, like the phenomenal benefits to your mind. Just each time that I've fasted, the negativity that's come up with my attachment to food has been slowly diminishing. So I'm getting more and more control. I'm all about mindset. This is the Genesis mindset. And as a meditation guide, I'm all about meditation and mindset. So this has been very possible with things like mindset control, and meditation in particular has really helped me a lot. But when you do this physically, you can't do too much, but I actually find it better to move. So I actually helped my friend for like 8 hours moving on Sunday, and he was shocked that I was able to have all this energy without food. But really, your body is really quite a powerful mechanism, and so is your mind. So food can be rather overrated. We don't need to eat as much as we do. And on that, I will get into the episode. So I'm going to start sharing the screen right now. So here we go. Let me just get here. So, oh, give me a second. Sorry. I will share the screen. Okay. So where I think PulseChain is going in the next few months. So I don't know if you guys know of Waters Above. He's another guy, and your friend Somi has also been saying that September is a trash month. So I'm in the camp that believes September is going to be another trash month. So I do believe PulseChain is going to go down, but your boy Axis Alive always hits with the phenomenal content. I mean, he's one of the best TA guys in the PulseChain ecosystem. So if you don't follow Axis Alive on Twitter, I strongly recommend it. If you don't listen to his YouTube, I strongly recommend it. My favorite duo on YouTube is Corey Costa and Axis Alive. If you guys don't tune into that, I strongly recommend it. The alpha there is phenomenal. Corey Costa just, I mean, he's such an intelligent guy, asks phenomenal questions, and Axis Alive is just, his TA is just on point. I just love it. So he's basically was saying that the centralization. So this is a tweet from quite some time ago. So this was in August, and he was saying that this is where we are now. So we still haven't hit the panic stage. We're in the denial stage. So he's saying this is where we need to be, in the depression and the disbelief. And he's comparing the chart here. So I'm going to bring this chart up. And I must admit, when I saw this, I have to completely agree with him. Now, my reasons for agreeing with him, he's talking about the market sentiment, and he's also using the Fibonacci here. I also think, so I've got this charted out on my chart here. So this line here is the whale sacrifice price. So shout out to Somi for this idea. Sorry, this is the regular. So this is the plebs, people like myself, sacrifice rate, 0.0001. And this is the whale sacrifice rate. Now, just like the plebs, there's weak hands in the plebs and there's weak hands with the whales. And we've already seen that on chain. So I really do believe that the weak hands are yet to capitulate. There needs to be a capitulation. And also, everyone's saying, oh, we need to feel more pain. I'm not too sure if that's possibly going to happen. I think it will, and that's probably another reason. But I also think because of everything that's going on with the leverage that's now starting with uh, fiat and Fux and all these ecosystems that are starting to emerge in the pulse chain ecosystem. It's a perfect opportunity for whales to start playing games with liquidity. So if people start to over leverage and under collateralize, they can get shorted and the price can really dip. So I think there's going to be some interesting games happening over the next month or two, and I do think it is going to drop here. And the other major reason is everyone that I'm talking to thinks pulse chain is dead. People don't want to buy. I don't understand why. I don't understand why 3 years ago you were bullish on it and this price chart is now making you bearish. You have to really understand that your emotions are tied to the chart and you really need to disconnect your emotions. Whatever convictions you had in pulse chains before, that shouldn't change. Everyone's also talking, Richard Hart has gone silent. For me, this is so bullish that he's silent. If this ecosystem can survive and thrive without him, that is the most bullish thing for the ecosystem that I can possibly think of. The ecosystem that doesn't have a centralized point of failure. At the moment, Hex has a centralized point of failure as Richard Hart, but this is an ecosystem. This is now a city. We don't want to just rely on the mayor. We need more than the mayor. We need the garbage people. We need the nurses. We need the teachers. We need the policemen. We need all the other politicians. We need the people working on the roads. We need the students. We need everybody that contributes to a city. We don't want a central point of failure. So I think it's actually very bullish that Richard Hart is very, very quiet. And I'm actually not at all concerned with the SEC. I have actually made some videos that you can check out here with my analysis on that and why I think it's a non-issue. So I'll put those up here in the cards, up here somewhere. Okay, so this is why I think it is going to go down. So all this money from Pulse Chain is going to go into things like ATROPA. And so people think this chain is dead, but they're not looking. They're not looking at what's actually happening in Pulse Chain. And if you want to know, you need to be following people like the Moon King. So the Moon King, shout out to the Moon King. And he is basically was one of the big Shiba Inu OGs who really pumped it. And he's got a huge following. Oh gosh, how big is his following actually? He's got a big following and he's just phenomenal at pumping meme coins and growing meme coins. So 62K, good on you, Moon King. He's done a lot of hard work. He's been in Bitcoin for years and years and years. I think more cycles than me. I just started at the end of 2017. So I bought in at the top. So I was a big noob then. But the Moon King is around even before then. So he was well loaded up before that. So the Moon King is a very, very good source to follow. Now, I must admit, originally when I followed the Moon King, one of my friends, shout out to Utini on Twitter, my good friend Eddie, he told me about Moon King. And for me, my mind really needs to be in it, understand it. And I followed him and I was like, I don't really understand. This is just flooding my Twitter, and I disconnected from him. But then I reconnected again. I thought, no, I need to really follow this guy. And so he's been talking a lot about ATROPA, and people have been killing it in ATROPA. So these are the things he's talking about. So you may have heard of pDAI. So the pDAI narrative, in case you haven't heard about it, is a narrative that says that pDAI is going to be the stable coin on Pulse Chain, and it's going to hit $1. And so at the moment, it's like 0.0001 cent or something ridiculous. So it's like a few hundred to 1,000x away from $1. And this is an incredible narrative. Somebody showed a video yesterday of Richard Hart talking about getting a call from someone who was saying he had a way of actually creating a stable coin, and Richard Hart was very excited about it. This was a stream from a long time ago. And it's like, could this be it? It's like, oh, shout out to something. If I was a duck named Greg and my best friend Bill, how would I want Bill to actually interact with the chain? This is what pDAI and ATROPA are doing. So there was a stream. So again, shout out to House here. There must have been a stream that he watched, the same stream that I watched, because I didn't kind of pick this up consciously, but after the fact, I really started to contemplate this as like, holy crap, this whole pDAI ecosystem is like the Federal Reserve. So he said, last night we learned that ATROPA is actually modeling the fractional reserve banking system in crypto. Anyone can generate a currency and shift liquidity to control the dips, just like the Fed has for 100 years. And then he quotes Richard Hart, who says our fake internet money is better than their fake internet money. And not only is it doing that, so what actually happens with the Fed, it's actually pumping the big boys' bags. So everybody else gets screwed at the bottom, but the people at the top, they're getting, the money is filtering through them. And what's actually happening with all these companies in America? So the S&P 500 keeps going up, but there's so many zombie companies, and zombie companies are companies that can't actually survive because they don't actually generate enough profit that's going to pay off their debt. But because they keep borrowing and getting money print and handouts, they actually keep doing stock buybacks, which pumps their price. And now this principle is happening in cryptocurrency. And when I'd heard about this years ago, it was like, why can't we then create a system where there is an infinite supply of money and an abundant supply of money? And I do believe that that system is going to emerge through what's actually developing in cryptocurrency. I do believe we are headed to a world of abundance. I don't believe in this model of scarcity that we currently exist in, where only a certain percentage of people basically reap the rewards. I do believe in the principles of capitalism and having to have that motivation. I believe in all of that, but I do believe in an entirely new system that's going to take something about capitalism, something about communism. It's going to blend the two. It's going to create something different, something between decentralized finance and centralized finance, cryptocurrency and TradFi. It's going to be a blend of all of these things, and it's going to be an entirely new system that nobody's ever thought of. That's what I do believe, but it's going to be an abundant system where there will be things like infinite supplies and buy and burn, and people are not going to have to starve. Why should people starve when there's people just buying back their stocks and pumping up their stock price and distributing that price to shareholders who aren't actually doing anything? Why should people be starving and homeless on the streets? It makes absolutely no sense to me. Why should people be drug addicts on the street? It makes absolutely no sense to me. So aside from that rant, let's move on. So that's why I am super bullish on the ATROPA ecosystem. That was the first red light, the first green light moment rather, that I was like, okay, holy shit, this is actually really, really bullish. So then today I had an opportunity to do a massive deep dive into the ATROPA ecosystem. So I want to just take you through my process. This took me about, I don't know, 8 to 10 hours. So basically I started to look for all the different ATROPA pairs, and it was a bit random to start with. So if you have never done this, I strongly recommend on Deck Screener, you can use multi-charts. So Jenkins taught me this one. So multi-charts, you can use multi-charts, and with multi-charts, you can basically add a whole bunch of charts. And so what I started to do is I started to connect all these different ATROPA charts and see if I could find any patterns. So you may or may not know, I am an architect. I do run a meditation center now, so I run 7 days a week, but I'm also an architect. I don't actually do any architectural work at the moment, just very, very small jobs here and there. But I am an architect. So analysis is something that I just froth over. I absolutely froth over analysis. If it's patterns, numbers, yeah, not so much, but patterns, I love pattern analysis. So this is something that I really love. So I did a huge dive on this. I looked into ATROPA, then I went on to Twitter, and I actually realized, oh, hang on a minute, I need to figure out more here. So it was a bit scrambled, a bit all over the place. So then I went on to try and figure out, okay, what is a Telegram group that I can actually ask some of these questions? And then I joined this spaces today, and shout out to the fellas in that pDAI and ATROPA space. I don't know who the host was, my apology. And shout out to all the guys who followed me. Thank you very much. And Pulse Former as well. He especially helped me, and I've been chatting to him on Twitter. So thank you very much, Pulse Former, for that extra help. And then he shared with me that the wallet is the first wallet that started creating this ATROPA ecosystem is the 414. So what's actually happening with ATROPA is basically the principle, as I understand it, is this ATROPA is what is linking to pDAI. So the ATROPA is creating a liquidity pool with the pDAI, and the ATROPA keeps inflating, and then it keeps buying back the pDAI and then putting it into the pool. And then there's also a burn and buy in this process as well. So this process just keeps spiraling up the price. So it keeps pumping the price in this manner. And so when I learned about this, I was like, okay, this is phenomenal. So this 4014, we don't know. This is his wallet address. We don't actually know. It's still all speculation, but this is the original person who actually did this. So this could be Bill. This could be Greg's good friend, Bill. So if this is Bill, so far, everything that Bill is doing seems to be benevolent. So I'm just going to take it with a grain of salt that this is benevolent, and I'm just going to go with it. I mean, we can speculate endlessly about if he's good or if he's bad, malevolent or benevolent. I'm going to make the assumption that he's benevolent, and I'm actually going to start betting on that benevolency. So this is not financial advice, but now this is the analysis that I have done. And I've started to categorize everything into different charts. So first of all, I had the scramble chart. Then I categorized everything into 414. And then I started to notice some patterns. Okay, so this is just the original ATROPA WPLS. So it's all pulse chain. So you have to think the main point of ATROPA. So what actually pumped Ethereum so much in the last bull run is people are taking profits. So VCs make all their monies, they dump shit on your head. They, oh yeah, listen, this great ICO, and then they take their profit into Ethereum. So this is driving the price of Ethereum up. So there's all these projects that are forming that pumps. Then they take profit, and then that goes into Ethereum. Then other projects form, they pump, then they dump, but the profits then go back into Ethereum. So this is what's going to happen with Pulse Chain. So this is also why I think Pulse Chain can go lower, because at the moment we're just at the start of that. But then once this actually starts to head into the bull market, the momentum that it's going to create with all of these projects through ATROPA is going to be phenomenal. So then I started to deep dive into this. So here's your ATROPA WPLS with the 414 wallet. And I just started to notice these patterns. Okay, so there's all these charts that are looking very, very similar. So you can see here, this is DAI, this is USDT. They're all essentially doing the same thing. They have these big dips, then they start to die off. Now, the wrapped ETH did this as well. Doge did this as well. Zen did this as well. So these are big meme coins now. So you've got your stables, you've got your big meme coins. And then I started to look at just some of these random ones. Okay, ATROPA has this fine ATROPA has the same pattern as Doge Zen. Also, Teddy Bear, similar pattern. Okay, so hang on a minute. There's things that are happening with the stable coins. There's things that are happening where the chart seems to die off. And then there's things where the chart still seems to be pumping. So these are still pumping. And then there's these completely new ones, which we don't know where they're going just yet. They're completely new. I mean, look at, I don't know what this is. I have no idea how to say that or what it even means. It's in different kind of languages. It could be in, yeah, I'm not too sure. It looks Arabic or something like that. So looks quite lovely though. This one looks really beautiful. I don't know what that is, but it looks like a beautiful script. And so these are brand new. So I thought, okay, I want to actually distill these. So then I created, so how have I actually done this? Oh, bugger. Okay, this is actually probably a good thing because as it loads, I can actually, I'm going to have to quickly refresh this. So this is going to be a good lesson for you as well. So then what I did, so this is my process. So what I did then, I took one of these charts. So I broke them up into stable coins. So I created another multi-chart with just, okay, what did all the stable coins do? So I can see what's actually going to happen with pDAI. What did all these other ones that have started to die do? The ones that have gone dead do? And then what are the ones that are still pumping doing? So then I can actually compare those to these new ones. So that's essentially the process that I've followed. So then what I would do is, so for example, here, TSFI, I would get the TSFI, I would get that contract pair to make sure that it's correct. I would go to, now, Pulseformer showed me a process, and you know when you're in the flow and you just follow what you know when you're in the flow, because it's just working for me and it's easy and quick. I would copy and paste that into here. So PulseScan, I think it's just pulsescan.io, and it brings up otter.pulsechain.com. And then I would go to the very last page, scroll down to the very first transaction, and bang, there we go. Wallet 414. Okay, so this is the OG guy. This could be Bill. This is Bill. We're going to call him Bill from now on. So the duck named Bill. So now Bill, I've gone and done all of the, then I've taken Bill and I've done, okay, so if my thesis is that this ATROPA is actually designed to pump Pulse Chain, how does it actually look compared with the Pulse Chain pairs? So then I would copy and paste this contract address for the TSFI, and I would find the WPLS pairs, because there's tons of pairs there, but I'm only interested in the WPLS. Okay, so I actually just had a power outage here, so I think this is a sign to slow down, and it also helped me readjust some of the charts which were incorrect, so it just saved a little bit of time. So I'm just going to slow down here and just show this process of how I did it. So now I'm going to take a look at, first of all, So this is the 414s. Now I'm going to take a look at all the stable coin pairs. So this is the king here, DAI. So DAI to ATROPA, as it's going down, Pulse is pumping. So let's have a look at this at the start of the charts. So I've just got two Pulse pairs here, two different contracts. And you can see that they're pumping in the same way. It doesn't really matter, but they're slowly pumping, and then you get this big pump. Now there's been a nice dip in the ATROPA Pulse, so it could be a great time to load up on some DAI with your WPLS if you're really wanting some DAI. So this is going to help inform me how am I actually going to take my trade. So after my analysis, because I like to do some analysis, I don't like to just degen into things. Sometimes I do, but I like to actually be steady. Otherwise, there's something about the vibration that you're putting out, the emotional vibration that you're putting out, which it depends what it is. If it's like too greedy and FOMO, it just doesn't work for me. So then we've got the DAI ATROPA pair there. So then you can see USDC. One thing I want to also highlight is when you actually use this multi-charts and anything in deck screen, and make sure you've got the ratios correct. It's default set to the price in USD, but you always want to switch it to whatever this is. So in this instance, it'll be set to ATROPA, and in these ones, it's set to WPLS. So now the same thing's happening here. So USD is dropping, but Pulse is going up in that pair. Okay, that's interesting. So you could also take a buy here. Same thing with USDT. It's dropping, Pulse is going up. So as this is printing and this liquidity pool is going longer and longer, this is continuing to pump. And now this is an interesting one, the wrapped ETH. So wrapped ETH, again, we've got this kind of dead sideways looking thing here, but it's got this condition going along with wrapped ETH Pulse, which I find really fascinating. And I think, I'm not too sure. I think this is something to do with, I'm not too sure, but I think this has got something to do with stabilizing this price between the two chains. Now, let's go to the dead ones. So now these are the dead, and I call them dead because basically they have same as what's happening with those stable coins. Then they've kind of flatlined. Now, I wanted to start with Doge and Zen first because they've kind of just gone sideways. And I think the reason why they've gone sideways is because they have such big holders and there's so much sell pressure already because these tokens were also copied across. So you've already got Doge, you've already got Zen, same condition, Doge and Zen doing the same thing. And really same thing with Zen and Pulse. It's just essentially going sideways. So this one is looking a little more active, but really there's not that much of a difference here. Oh, yeah, I guess there's a 10x difference there. So that's quite good, but it's still essentially sideways. And I think that's got a lot to do with the sell pressure. Now, these are the interesting ones. These are the ones that are fascinating. So Fine and ATROPA. So another one that's gone down and has quote unquote gone to this dead condition. Look at what this has done. Look at the start of these charts. So it only just started to begin, but it just pumped. It just pumped against Pulse. It's just pumping against Pulse. It's pumping, it's pumping, it's pumping. So eventually, when you're selling this, you're getting, when you sell your Fine for Pulse, you're going to have so much more Pulse. Like this is, you're selling this for Pulse, and it's a phenomenal thing. It's a really interesting concept. And again, Teddy Bear. So this is one that B Roots is talking a lot about, and this also has entered this dead condition. So in actuality, I'm a little bit more skeptical about Teddy Bear. I must admit now, based on all of this. So this has entered a dead condition. So when did it start? It started entering this dead condition on the 18th of August, but it continued to pump for quite some time, for a couple of weeks after the fact. So Zen and Doge, we can't really use them as examples. And now this one, when has this one died? So this died on the 9th of August, and it's been, well, I mean, it's been pumping for a couple of weeks. So I'm a bit more skeptical about how much more pump this has got to go. But then at the same time, this is also not completely dead. This is also showing a unique condition similar to Well, actually, are there any other conditions? So I'm actually just also noticing things now. So let's go back to this 4014 chart. Are there any conditions? Well, I mean, look at this. You've got down, right? So let's have a look at down. So down did this. So this could be another teddy bear. So down just went down ATROPA, then it went sideways, and then it mooned. And this is showing signs of mooning. So in actuality, this is something that B Roots is talking a lot about. So this here could be a phenomenal buy. So this could then do what this has done, down in ATROPA. And if we go back here and we look at what down in ATROPA did, where are we? So now we're going to look at, have I got down in ATROPA? Where's my down in ATROPA? Oh, here we go. So down in ATROPA because it's still going. So this is on the things that are still going. But if you look at this, I mean, so this was again, so this died sideways and then pumped again. And then once this pumped on the 15th of August, from the 15th of August, this started pumping. Now look at it go. So we could get the same condition occurring on teddy bear. It does actually look like the same thing is happening. So this gives me conviction because it's also not just going down, down, down. It's actually trickling upwards. So this actually does give me a bit of conviction to start entering into these. Now back to, where was it? Yes. So now the things that are still alive, the things that are going. So you're down in ATROPA. It was dead at the start, went sideways, then pumped, and now it's pumping against pulse. Now this is still going. We don't know where this is just yet in its cycle. This is, if I compare this to any others, it's kind of hard to distinguish. It looks like it's showing this kind of a pattern here. So if we look here, the TSFI, and I'll just bring it across here. So they're showing similar signs. So this could be another one of these where it just kind of pumps and pumps and then slowly starts going down. And if that's the case, even still, as we saw with the fine ATROPA did just fine. So it did this condition and then it pumped ridiculously anyway. So it was still pumping that whole time. So from the 4th of June, it was dead, or 4th of June. So when did it start? It started around about the same time. So in actuality, when this was really pumping, so when this was on its way up, so this profit starting to go into this liquidity pool and starting to pump pulse through here. So from here, the 4th of June, this is starting on the 4th of June. And now this just went, this went bananas. Look at this. Gee whiz, look at this. This move here is like, oh, hell yeah. And I should be showing this in logarithmic in all reality, but I don't know if you can do it on the multi-charts. So that's almost a 100% pump, but that's nothing. Look at this. That's a 3,000% pump, 3,500% pump. Okay. And now, yes, this is. So basically, I'm looking at that like it's in the early days. So TSFI, which is T-share finance, has still got a long way to go. So I'm very bullish on that. So T-share finance, long way to go. So I've actually just bought some and I'm probably going to buy some more if it does dip a little bit more, and I'll just scale in. And now these are the ones that I'm finding very interesting. So this one again is possibly showing early signs of the fine. Now, the reason why I think these are more exciting is because they don't have a strong existing community. So this is brand new. This is brand new, and this is also brand new. And if they pump pulse like all the others have pumped pulse, because that's what every single one of them are doing, whether they go up or whether they go down, they are pumping pulse. That is the main point that I'm trying to show here. Pulse is being pumped. So when you actually sell out of these, so at the moment, I bought this with pulse. So I bought TSFI with pulse. And then as this pumps, I'm going to sell my TSFI back into pulse, but I'm going to have so much more pulse. And that's what we want. That's the game. So these are the ones to keep an eye out on. And I'll see if I can post those contract addresses in my YouTube. But as you can see, I'm very interested in these now. And this is just scratching the surface. So that was a little bit longer than 15, 20 minutes. I do apologize. I hope it was full of value. I hope you were able to understand there was about 20 to 30 hours of research and analysis that went into this, plus the years of mindset that have actually gone into this through my understanding of cryptocurrency, the financial markets, human psychology. That's actually gone into my thesis about where these things are going. And why sleep? I was sleeping on it, and I'm quite frustrated with myself. I've seen it on Twitter, and Twitter is, if you're not on Twitter and you want to understand what's going to pump, get on Twitter. Twitter is like the 24-hour newsfeed. It's so fast. It's so fast. It's going to quickly show you what's happening. So you really need to be on Twitter. Telegram is another really good one as well. And then YouTube is also really good. But YouTube's a bit slower. So by the time you hear things on YouTube, it's like sometimes it's like days late. I mean, I wanted to talk about ATROPA last week, for instance, and it's probably already getting too late. I mean, things have pumped so much already. So as you can see, YouTube is really slow. But if you're on Twitter, you would have started to see the signs like I did about ATROPA, but I was slept. I was too focused. I mean, I work 9 to 10. I'm a volunteer, 9 to 10, Monday to Saturday, and on Sundays till 4 p.m. So I'm like, oh, I don't really want to think about those things. I want to focus on helping the people here. But then I do get some time and I really get this urge. And when that urge gets overwhelming, I follow it. I follow my instinct. So this is what having a clear mind is all about. So anyway, I hope that analysis was useful. I actually think it's some pretty damn good analysis, to be honest, and I'm actually really happy with it, and it's going to inform some of my trading decisions. And hopefully also I was able to distill all that information and help you understand what's actually going on from my perspective and from the perspective of others that I've collated. So with that, thank you very much. If you haven't liked and subscribed, please like and subscribe. I'm on TikTok, Instagram. I'm also on YouTube, obviously, and on Twitter. I've been on Twitter for like years, but I didn't use it. So I just keep getting followed by bloody bots. But please follow me on Twitter. I really try and put out lots of good content about the ecosystem and about mindset. I'm all about mindset. I'm all about meditation. So once again, thank you very much, everybody. Hopefully this was valuable, and I will see you all next week.